I find it sad that we've become so obsessed with technology that we forgot how to enjoy the simple things, such as enjoying a walk in the forest without constant music or audiobooks in our ears, or simply reading a good book. Speaking of which, I recently read the old-time classic Art of War, which I'm sure you've all heard about already, and stumbled upon its most famous quote, "Know your enemy." Why the hell am I talking about all of this exactly? Well, as someone who has been shiny hunting for over 5 years now, I have learned a lot of things. One of them being, until you catch them, shiny Pokemon are your enemy, and you have to be prepared to face them. Why am I focusing on shiny Pokemon? Quite simply because for any regular Pokemon, you can simply run away or soft reset and try again. But for shiny, unless you really enjoy wasting your time, you'd better catch the first one you see. And throughout my years in the community, I have seen countless disappointed hunters that ended up having to resort to their one Master Ball, which kind of feels bad. Or even failing a shiny Pokemon altogether, which feels even worse. So today I want to share my long overdue love letter to the shiny hunting community, how to catch any Pokemon in any ball, or the infinite battle strategy. First off, why would you even care about that? Why not simply hack infinite Master Balls? In all honesty, you can. I couldn't care less. Personally though, I would much rather own a Luxury Ball shiny Rayquaza, a Fast Ball shiny Latias, or a Level Ball shiny Entei than any of those in a Master Ball. To me, it feels much more rewarding and just looks good. It is also a big reason for me to love a shiny that I have even more. Or to start another hunt knowing I will use a specific matching ball. Sometimes I even go out of my way to make the hunt harder if it allows me to use a better ball. What did you find so far? Shiny Larvitar! Yes! And it doesn't always end well. I love you! So what if I told you that there was a way for you to catch any Pokemon you'd like in any ball you'd prefer? Would you do it? No? Alright, thank you for watching and see you next time. For those still here, let me get this straight. This requires preparation. You cannot simply run headfirst into an encounter, throw balls, and hope for the best. You need a bulletproof, flawless strategy. But let's be fair, you're already spending hours looking for shiny Pokemon. Wouldn't you want to spend some extra prep time just to guarantee the catch will go well? Ready? Then let's get into it. The first thing you might ask yourself is, why do I even need the infinite strat? Well, if you're lucky, you could catch any Pokemon instantly with any ball, of course. But as a future PhD of the shiny hunting school, you don't want to leave that up to chance. A lot of the time, the Pokemon will end up running out of power points and struggle to death. This is the main issue the infinite strat tackles, which gives it its name. The battle will never end, as we will never allow the opposing Pokemon to knock itself out from struggle. Next up, when do you need the infinite strat? Let me say this, you don't always need a fancy setup such as a level 100 Smeargle with False Swipe and Spore for a level 3 Pidgey. Just look at the moveset of your target and do not overcomplicate it. But to answer the question, it's quite simple, and you've probably guessed it. The likeliest of fails are against the legendary Pokemon, which have a catch rate of 3 or 0.46% with a Pokeball at full health. Now, is that applicable in all games? Actually, yes. Outside of Generations 1 and 2, where most people simply use Master Balls, there is always a way to make the battle infinite, although it isn't always the same. There are actually several infinite battle strategies. Most of them are very simple though. Let's review them in order of difficulty. Very easy. In Generation 5, you won't even need it, because for some reason the catch rates are pretty high. Easy. In Generation 6 onwards, you can use a Trevenant with the ability Harvest, holding a Leper Berry and using Trick and Skill Swap. This way, the opposing Pokemon will eat the berry once it hits 0 PPs on any move, before restoring it right after thanks to Harvest, making the battle effectively infinite. Medium. In Generation 3, you will need to hold Leftovers and use Trick. Then, since Struggle is based on damage dealt, you can simply lower the offense and accuracy of the opponent while boosting your defense, and the leftovers will always out-heal the struggle recoil damage. Which leaves us with the hardest of all of them, Generation 4, which also happens to be by far my favorite games and the ones I know the most about. Why is it harder than any other generation? Because in Generation 4, Struggle will always deal 25% of the HP as recoil, no matter what. You can try to out-heal it all you want, the Pokémon will faint within the next 4 turns. There is only one solution, we need to keep it above 0 PPs. If it struggles, it faints. So let's dive deeper into Generation 4 for the rest of the video. You've been waiting for this for a while now, so let's just finally get to it. What exactly is the Infinite Strat in Generation 4? It starts with a very niche move, Fling. Fling is a dark type move that deals damage based on the item you're holding. Roughly, the heavier the item, the more damage you will deal. With almost any item, it just deals damage and that's it. But there is one exception, berries. Instead of only dealing damage, flunk berries are also consumed, even if they don't meet their usual requirements. And remember earlier when I talked about the Lepe Berry being eaten by Harvest as a way to restore PPs? Well, there is no such thing as Harvest in Generation 4, but there is Fling. And there you go, if you fling a Lepe Berry, the opponent will restore 10 PPs. There is only a slight problem. After you fling an item, you lose it. Of course, there is another loophole. Thanks to another very niche case, there is another move that can save us, Recycle. Normally, Recycle allows you to recover an item you consumed. So with Fling, it shouldn't work, except it does. The game considers the items to be consumed in the position of the Pokémon that was holding the item before the move was used. So there you go. Flinging a Lepe Berry before recycling is the ultimate way to make a battle infinite. Oh, and if one of your PPs fall to 0, you will consume the berry automatically. Don't panic, just recycle to get it back. And as a bonus, something I like to do myself is I don't want to mess up by counting PPs the wrong way, so I start the battle with a Pokémon holding leftovers and using Trick. This way I can simply bring in my Flinger and fling right after the first struggle. Why? Because thanks to leftovers, it will be back to full HP by the time it runs out of its 10 newly acquired PPs. Just be wary that this makes the battle longer, but also makes it so that you literally cannot mess up, and that's why I like it. Except that there is still other things to be careful about. First problem. Not every Pokémon can learn both Fling and Recycle on top of a much needed sleeping move to make the catch easier. These are all of the possibilities, with the best of them being the bulkiest. Do not use Smeargle, it is boring! But actually you can if you want. Second problem. Holding a Lepe Berry means you cannot hold leftovers or anything else, and thus cannot passively heal without a move. Solution. You will need to buy a lot of healing items. Third problem. You will face legendaries and will take a lot of damage. Solution. Stack up on X items to boost your defenses. Also, you can use X accuracy for moves such as Hypnosis or Sing to hit 100% of the time. Fourth problem. You're still limited by the number of balls you have. Solution. Stack up on as many balls as possible. Fifth problem. For all of those, you will need to farm money or apricorns beforehand. Solution. Incino abused the elderlies of Route 212 repeatedly while holding the Amulet coin with the Versus Seeker. And Johto repeatedly beat the Elite Four with the same item. And for the Apricorn Balls, aka the best, you need to first pick the color you want, go get an Apricorn on these routes, save, shut down your console, put your time on 23:59, go back in game, and wait until the timer ticks over. Repeat as much as needed. And that's it! If you have all of these, you have yourself a guaranteed catch in any ball you prefer. To close out, remember this, just come prepared check the moveset and do test captures. And if you'd like a case-by-case guide for the legendaries in Generation 4, tell me in the comments. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching, good luck on your hunts, take care, see ya around.